What is up, guys? Anime Logician here, and today we're doing a tier list. This tier list is based on the 2023 fall anime season, and with that being said, let's get started. So first off, we got here Frin, Beyond Journey's End, and to me, this was honestly extremely enjoyable, and I'm gonna give it a 10 out of 10. I've heard some people explain how this anime wasn't all that, amazing to them, but to me, um, it basically goes in on the main character, Freyren, who's an elf, and basically she needs to learn how to appreciate and uh, put more time and effort into her friends and understanding them and who they are and what their lives are, basically. And I feel like that's what the anime is basically about. Their long journey and how Freyren, emotionally, she regrets not having input much emotion into her friends and how she starts to then feel sad once one of her friends passes away. And that's completely understandable, especially coming from my perspective. A lot of people say she might have autism or that, she's emotionally, like, not that great as an. So, for example, if anyone's heard of the 16 Myers-Briggs personalities, I feel that she's an INTP, and that's why she's so heavy into reading and being by herself, learning spells and whatnot. All her interest, I've noticed, is delved into spells that are either really unnecessary or just irrelevant to her journey. But she's such a nerd, such an intellectual, that she likes reading and learning and studying everything in between. Which is why I feel that emotionally she doesn't have that great much of input towards anything aside her own interest. Which is why I feel like in this anime, it does a good job of what the main character is needing to do in order to express her emotional point of view on understanding her friends and learning more about them. I may actually do a video on that whole autism thing, but that depends on if, like, that's something that people, would actually want to look into, Because I find Reddit's interest in that really interesting. Next up, we have JiuJitsu Kais Season 2. Deadass, just 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10. The action, the scenes, the animation was clean. 10 out of 10. Next up, we have Spy Family. This is also going to be a 10 out of 10. Honestly, for the past... For Season 1, Parts 1 and 2, I felt things were actually going better as planned until things got so heated in this season alone. We have the mother who basically has to help out her daughter, and we're on this boat, right? This just fight. Okay, so I'm gonna be real here. I always knew that Yer was an assassin. Of course, everyone knew this from season 1. But the way she just handled everyone on that boat was just, like, the yacht, everything on it was just crazy. You wouldn't expect that, but it happened. I mean, it was overall just crazy to me, and that entire scene alone just was, like, perfect. Next up, we have Dark Gathering. This is also going to be a 10 out of 10. Horror anime. Like I said, it's hard to do, and it's hard to actually make it perfect. But Dark Gathering, part 2 of season 1, did it perfectly. Honestly, I don't know how they did it, but they just improved on what needed to be improved on from what people enjoyed about the anime, and it became much, much better. 10 out of 10. Oh, man, the Apothecary Diaries. I'm just going to say it here. 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10. This anime had my focus just, like, at 110% all into it. And I feel that the main character of Apothecary Diaries and Freyren, these two main characters have a lot in common. Whether it's people liking the main character and overall having, the same personalities, I actually feel that they have a lot in common. Next up, we have Dr. Stone, New World, Part 2. Honestly, 10 out of 10. Look, I'm going to be honest here. It's really hard for me to not call these 10 out of 10s because everything, like this entire season was just bomb as fuck. 10 out of 10. Like, just a lot of things that were amazing. I don't know, like, fall was just so much better than summer. Like, you just have to, like, compare the two. There's, like, a massive difference, like, canyon difference. Next up we have Undead Unluck. I really did enjoy this a lot. I'm gonna call it a 9 out of 10. Well, I'm gonna call it an 8 out of 10 for now, because this is the first time I've seen a shonen anime where the powers are extremely unique, and overall the leveling system is just, I don't know, it's not completely understandable at this time, as we've only seen so much within season 1, but I feel that as we go down further within this anime into like a season 2 or a part 2 for season 1, this anime has tons of potential. And like I said, it's something I haven't seen before, but just the power system alone and everything in between, just, it feels different is what I'm saying. And then next up we have Shangrila Frontier. I'm gonna give this a 9 out of 10. It's one of the first gaming animes that I've seen that actually had my interest focused on it, like, throughout the entire anime. Aside from No Game, No Life, this has this gaming aspect where it's just amazing. And I feel like if they continue down this route and give us a little more than what's been given in season 1, I feel things could pick up from there and things could be a lot better. Next up, we have the 100 Girlfriends Who Really, 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 Really Love You. I'm not sure what to give this. Do I want to give this a 10 out of 10 or a 9 out of 10? This is so hard for me because there's already enough anime that are considered perfect. You know what? Screw it. I'm just going to call it a 10 out of 10. A lot of people love this anime. There was a lot. This, in my opinion, had fan service, but it was a lot different compared to a lot of other fan service-y animes out there. It actually had a plot. There's a lot of character development because it gives each girl screen time in each episode, right? Each girl has their own episode and has screen time to being relevant of the anime. So that's what I like about this anime. Everything about it is actually balanced out. Nothing is being pushed. Nothing is being taken away. It actually feels perfect. Next, oh my god, Tokyo Revengers. Oh man. This season of Tokyo Revengers, I'm gonna, I want to give it a 10 out of 10 so badly, but you know what? My opinion, my video, my opinion, 10 out of 10. I love Tokyo Revengers. I've already read all of the manga, and honestly, I'm expecting everything to happen within the manga into the anime as it is, and it's 100% perfect. A lot of people hated the anime because originally the main character is a crybaby, and no one understands how that time traveling aspect of the anime works, but it works. I mean, I could give it a 9 out of 10 for that alone, but Tokyo Revengers has been so good, I had to give it a 10 out of 10. Oh no, the Kingdoms of Ruin. This anime was extremely garbage. This anime, for the most part, caught my attention because of the action, but it doesn't give us any in-depth analysis or any info on the guy's story, his origin, the powers, their weaknesses, anything. Like, we all know the main character's just some, like, edgy douchebag, and then the side chick, yes, the side chick, is basically just there thinking, oh, I can save him. I can be there to change his whole entire mentality from being an edgy douchebag to being a better person. It's like, no, you can't. This guy's just a violent person. He wants revenge. His eyes are filled with nothing but bloodlust revenge, and overall, he is a douchebag. Honestly, I love the action in this anime, but I'm going to give it a 1 out of 10. It is just not that good. Just terrible all around. Next up, we have our dating story, The Inexperienced You and The Inexperienced Me. Another 10 out of 10 here, folks. I'm sorry, but like I said, I don't know why, but the summer season was just so trash compared to fall. And I'm not sure why that is. Maybe because the fall season has a lot to do with like different aspects within the season alone compared to summer, where summer's all about the beach, partying, hanging out with your friends, and being on high school vacation. But I don't know. Maybe fall's just a darker time for anime. Next up, we have Berserk of Gluttony. So this is basically Sword Art Online, but if it was edgier and more garbage. 2 out of 10. Not that great. Next up, we have Ragna Crimson. I expected a lot from this anime, but it was honestly a letdown. I don't know why I figured that much, but again, it just wasn't that interesting. It was boring. There wasn't much going for it. The story isn't all that compelling, and overall, it just feels as if you're watching something just to force yourself to watch it. 2 out of 10. Next up, we have the Demon Sword Master of Excalibur Academy. Yeah, this was also terrible. It definitely feels like you're being forced to watch it. The people who made it, the studio, their animes are usually pretty good. I'm not gonna lie. They usually have a point to the story. There's fan service, but in this, it feels like there's no point to the anime at all. There's zero fan service, and at that point, it's like you're just trying to force yourself to watch it. These 3 anime aren't as bad as this. They're somewhat better, but not by much, and that's why they're 2 out of 10s. Next up, we have Ron Kamonoshabi's Forbidden Deductions. Or actually, sorry, I said that a little too fast. We have Ron Kamonohashi's Forbidden Deductions. Yes, my bad. I'm sorry. That was my bad. This was pretty good. I love mystery animes. They're always amazing. And I kind of figured, what did the main character do so bad that he was expelled from his job as a detective? And you pretty much find out the hard way what happens. And yeah, it feels like a lot just goes into this anime, and I'm going to give it a 9 out of 10. Next up, we have A Returner's Magic Should Be Special. This was great. This I actually did like. This, I'm going to give it a... a 9 out of 10. I honestly feel like this anime was amazing because, in retrospect, the time-traveling aspect for this anime is there. It feels like there's a lot more that goes into time traveling for this anime compared to this anime, but this anime just has a better story compared to this. This still has a good story, because the fact that the main character has to go back in time because they all got gapped by the final boss at one point in time, and he's having to retrain everyone, become better warriors overall, and become a better team to defeat the final boss once again, and this time defeat it. Next up, we have Dead Mount Death Play Part 2 of Season 1. It feels like we still don't know a lot about this anime because there isn't much of it explained or to understand. But the anime itself is amazing because aside from the understanding of the anime and overall being lost, I feel like this is really great. I love it, and I'm going to give it a 9 out of 10. Well, actually, Season 1 was amazing. The first part of it anyways. Part 2, I feel like we didn't go anywhere aside from maybe the anime, progressing a bit. But overall, I feel like there is still not much to understand here, and so I'm going to give it a 8 out of 10 instead. Yeah, my thoughts on the anime did slightly digress on it, and overall, I feel like there needs to be a lot more to be done in progression for this anime alone. But overall, it's still a great anime. Next up, we have I'm in Love with the Villainess. This anime was just creepy on so many levels. I don't know why, but the main character is, like, creepy, like, stalker level creepy. It gets to the point where this romance, like, this love interest, kind of becomes one-sided. And overall, I tried to get into it. I gave it the 3-episode special, but overall, I just could not get into it. I mean, the main character was basically getting treated like crap, I would say, And overall, the romance there was so one-sided. It felt like the main character was a stalker, as where the other girl was creeped out in ways that would creep out someone in real life. So I'm just gonna give this a 1 out of 10 because being a stalker is not cool. I've never really understood why people like that. And it's weird because on Mal, my anime list, this received a 6 or a 7 out of 10, and I'm like, okay. So I want to know who was the weirdo that actually gave this a 10 out of 10. I'd love to know because this anime is just like so creepy, it's terrible. I would say The Ruined Kingdom is better than this, but again, we're comparing trash to trash, and that's not really relevant. Next up, we have The Vexations of a Shut-In Vampire Princess, and this is also going to be a 10 out of 10. Next we have I'm giving the Disgraced Noble Lady I Rescued a Crash Course on Naughtiness. This was above average. Or no, it's average, it's average. There's nothing special about this anime. It's so typical. It's something you'd see and watch for like the first time and be like, and you'd assume that there was something special about it, but no, afterwards it's just a boring anime. It's average at best. Nothing special about it. And next up we have After School Hanako-kun. I've read the manga of Toilet Bound Hanako-kun, and I've seen the anime as well. This, I would say, is slightly better than this, but barely. Alright, so let's recap and go back to each anime and see which I prefer. This is better than this. Out of these two, this was better than this, but I'm gonna say this was pretty boring. The guy assumes he has the worst power in all of the anime, right? But no, it turns out to be like this bloodlusting power where he becomes this Chad, like this edgy Chad, right? And is just like gapping everyone. Like, there's not even, there hasn't like been an opponent that's been relevant to this guy at all. He's just gapping everyone left and right. But, yeah, this is better than this. This is better than this. This is better than these two, but hardly. This anime is so bad, it's boring. I had to force myself to watch it. It's that bad. This goes here. This goes here. Is Death Play better than Undead Unluck? You know what? I'm gonna say that's a pretty hard one. I feel like Dead Play kind of let me down with part 2 because there wasn't really much to understand. Progression was a bit slow. While this, the power system is interesting, but there needs to be a lot more given into the story as well as progression of each character. So I feel like this is pretty correct. This was a slight letdown of this part 2, and this could do a bit better in progression. For amazing, let's see here. I honestly did enjoy Forbidden Deductions a little more than Shangrila Frontier, but Shangrila Frontier was a lot better than this. With a Returners match could be special. I feel like this anime is pretty obvious in the direction it's going. That direction being this guy wants revenge. He wants to do over on how his team was defeated by the final boss, and so he gets that do-over. And at this point, it's just like, oh, these guys are going to train harder, they're going to become more powerful, and they're going to finally defeat the final boss. Okay, so it's that obvious, you know? There's not much going into the anime, but it's pretty much obvious. As for these two, this has a before-scene aspect, a gaming aspect, but one that's entirely different. The main character wants to play shitty games overall. He gets told to play this one game, which is, I think, Shangrila Frontier. I think that's the game, basically. And overall, we get this aspect of where we get the point of view of how the character sees the game compared to other games. And he's actually enjoying it, even though this game seems to be a bit try-hard. And he himself is not really a try-hard. But overall, it feels interesting to watch. And of course, I just love mysteries in general. This was amazing. Now then, for the 10/10s, this is going to be extremely hard for me because, man, oh man, we got so much fire for fall 2023. I don't know where to start. First off, This, I'm gonna, This is going up here. You see, guys, this is why I love it when a season is perfect, but I also hate it when a season is perfect because we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 animes here that I consider to be perfect, and it's so hard to figure out which is which. JiuJitsu Kaisen, I'm gonna put at the top. This, I'm gonna put it over Spy Family. Dr. Stone, this actually got really, really good. Like, the story actually progressed heavily, and there was a lot of character development to be here. I'm gonna put that up here. Tokyo Avengers, I'm gonna... I'm gonna bump this up slightly up to here, but then I'm gonna leave these two here, and then leave this here. Yeah, wait, no, wait. Yeah, no, I feel this is perfect. I feel this is perfect. JiuJitsu Kaisen, the Shibuya incident, this was actually really perfect. I find it a lot better between these two. There wasn't a lot of action in these two animes compared to this, and I feel like the story was overall better as we get a lot of character development within the Shibuya arc. This, I would say, was comparable to this, except Dr. Stone had a lot less action and a lot more character development and progression within the story. I'm gonna say that Dark Gathering, it progressed, and in an extremely good way, to the point I want to say this was better than this, but there isn't as much character development compared to this. And then Tokyo Revengers, this got really good. The character development here was so much better, and overall, I feel that this is just such a good anime. I feel that people only hate it because the main character, like I said, is a crybaby, and the time skip or the time travel power isn't really explainable. But of course, that's just one thing of the anime. Everything else about it kind of outshines that at that point. Spy Family, this was incredible. The action, Year being on a yacht, just like gapping everyone to the point where, like, we've never seen anything like it before within this anime, and it's just amazing. It is perfect. Perfect all around. And then, at this point, I have to decide between these three. I love the romance aspect of these two animes, and as well as the fan service within this, because not only do all the characters in this anime have, like, some depth to them, but they all get screen time in separate episodes. So not only is this a fan servicey anime, but the characters in this anime actually matter. This is a one-on-one type of deal within a relationship, and it's something we haven't seen yet, but for some reason, a lot of people are just seeing this anime and its genre, you know, the plot of its genre, to become really popular within the past 2 to 3 years. And then Vexations of a Vampire. Of course, this was amazing. Just overall perfect. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go with this, and yeah, this is perfect. With that being said, let me know what you guys think of the video. Comment, like, subscribe, whatever. I'm going to be working on more videos and grinding out the YouTube algorithm. So, yeah, let me know what you guys think again, and I will see you guys next time. Peace.